Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo, Albiceleste.com, and it's the day following Argentina's 1-1 draw versus Chile at the Copa America. Now, it wasn't the result that we were expecting for. It wasn't the result that we were hoping to see and hoping to get, but it is what it is, and we got what we got. And going through MundoAlbiceleste.com, reading the comments, going through Twitter, reading the tweets and everything there, it seems like a lot of people are talking about the coach, Lionel Scaloni. And I figured, hey, we're going to have a live chat later tonight, later on Tuesday night in North America. So it might be around Wednesday morning and parts of Asia, or even Tuesday evening around Europe time. But we will have a live chat. Now, one thing I want to talk about in this video is Lionel Scaloni. I figured we'd kind of get that out of the way, get the ball rolling, see what everyone thinks prior to the big chat later tonight. If we take a look at the starting 11 that Lionel Scaloni put out yesterday, it was a 4-3-3 with Emiliano Martinez, Gonzalo Montiel, Lucas Martinez Cuarta, Nicolas Otamendi, and Nicolas Tagliafico. The midfield three, Leandro Paredes, Rodrigo De Paul, and Gio Lo Celso, and the front three of Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez, and Nicolas Gonzalez. I'm not gonna talk about the wonderful goal that Messi scored, the free kick, the brilliant goal to give Argentina the lead, because we will talk about all of this later tonight in our live discussions, and I want your opinions. I want everything, and we're gonna get to them. So regarding Scaloni, let's start with the good. Let's start with the good regarding Scaloni, because I'm someone that, I try to take a look at the positives with things. And let's start with the positives regarding the coach. And I picked out three. So I picked out three positives that I'm liking from Scaloni so far, and three maybe negatives or three things that he can work on. So the three positives for me are he's sticking with the midfield. I liked the front three, and I know I'm going to get attacked on this, so hear me out before you leave your comment. And he's not afraid. And I'm going to get to all that. I'm going to elaborate. So the one thing is the midfield. He's stuck with the midfield, and I like it. I like to see some sort of consistency in the team. I like to see some sort of base. And really the base of this team, or at least of the midfield, are the three of Lo Celso, Paredes, and De Paul. Now, did De Paul have a particularly good match versus Chile? Not exactly. But like I said earlier, we will talk about that in our video later tonight, in our live discussion that will be on YouTube and Facebook. So I like the fact that he's stuck with the front, with the midfield three. I really like that. I think, the chemistry is building, the interchange, and I like seeing that consistency. I'm not someone that likes to see one midfield in this match and then the next match have it completely change and then go back to it. So at least he's consistent in that. And if we're being honest, if we're being fair, I think the midfield has been solid for the most part. For the most part, I think they've been pretty solid. Let me know what you guys think about that so far. But in my opinion, I think they've been pretty good. So I like that. That's one positive for me. I like it. The other one, the front three. Now, when I say the front three, I'm talking particularly in the match versus Chile. And hear me out, because I know people are going to say a lot, and I agree, and I know what you're going to say. And what I liked about them was the movement. So Messi, Lautaro, and Nicolas Gonzalez, the movement between the three guys, between the front three, I liked it. Nicolas Gonzalez missed several chances, and on any other day, he easily could have had a hat-trick. Lautaro Martinez had a chance that he really should have buried in the first half, or maybe even two chances that he should have buried in the first half. And I get that, and I understand the frustration, and trust me, I'm just as frustrated as you are, and I was extremely frustrated watching it yesterday in the match. But at least the team created chances. At least the front three were able to, to make the runs and play the passes in and everything. Nicolas Gonzalez missed three chances, absolutely. Three golden chances. Definitely, I'm not arguing that. And like I said, I'm not happy about it. But at least he got in the goal-scoring positions. That's the positive. That's one thing I like, is that he made the runs. Same thing for Lautaro. He's making the runs. And I have no doubt that once they actually score, once Lautaro finally breaks his duck and scores, once Nicolas Gonzalez, assuming Scaloni even sticks with Gonzalez, but once Gonzalez gets his goal, that's going to help build his confidence up. And I liked it. I like the front three. I like, their movements and everything. They got into opportunities. But Obviously, unfortunately, they were not able to score. So credit to Scaloni for going with that. And I'm being honest, credit to Scaloni for going with that front three, because on any other day, like I said, Gonzalez could have gotten 3 goals, Lautaro 2, Messi with the free kick. So you can't really blame Scaloni regarding the misses. And we have to be honest about that. You can't blame Scaloni for the players missing there. And the other thing that I like is he's not afraid. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what do you mean he's not afraid, right? Well, he's not afraid to change things up with his substitutions. Now, whether his substitutions are good, kind of leave, that's up to debate, to be honest, because a lot of the times I feel like with Scaloni, it's kind of hit or miss. But, credit to him, he's not afraid to changing things up, right? We've seen it in the past. We've had the 4-3-3. Then we went with a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2 in the same match. He'll really try and change up the formation. So credit to him. He's still learning, right? He's still learning. Unfortunately, he's learning on the job, and you cannot blame him for that. That's obviously, the federation and everything that came before the years prior. And we've spoken about this before. No one would really take this Argentina job except for Scaloni. So I'm trying to cut him some slack. If I'm being honest, I'm really, really trying to cut Scaloni some slack because it's difficult. It's difficult. You're learning on the spot. It's a tournament. There's a lot of pressure on you. Obviously, you have Messi on the team, so people are going to be watching. Even the casuals are going to be watching. But credit to him, he's not afraid. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it pays off for Scaloni. Sometimes it doesn't. Yesterday, the substitutions, in my opinion anyways, did not really work out for him, in my opinion. But like I said, we're going to be talking about this in our video later tonight. So those are my 3 positives. Let me know, what are your 3 positives, or what are your 3 takeaways, 3 things that you liked, for example, from Argentina versus Chile in regards to Lionel Scaloni. Now, I hate to say this, but the bad, so to speak, the 3 things I didn't particularly like. The first one, sticking with Nicolas Otamendi. The second one, the substitutions. And 3 is a lack of motivation or focus in the second half. Now, before I get to it, I know people are going to say, well, the substitutions and he's not afraid, that doesn't really make sense. And I'm going to get to it. I'm going to explain what I mean. But first things first, Nicolas Otamendi. I get that he's experienced, and I mentioned this myself. I said I think the reason why Scaloni is sticking with Otamendi is due to experience. He's an experienced defender and everything, and I get it. But it's really gone to the point where the entire back line yesterday did not particularly have a good match. Otamendi, Martinez Cuarta, Tagliafico had his troubles. Montiel had problems as well. So, it's not like anyone really stood out. But the situation with Otamendi is it's now kind of been 2 matches in a row where he costs Argentina the win, or indirectly, right? The match versus Colombia, the team's up 2-0. A useless penalty to concede by Otamendi. That brings Colombia back into the match. Versus Chile yesterday, that goal by Chile was, yes, it was Tagliafico that got the foul, but Otamendi in that second half was not good, especially on that goal. If you guys go back and watch the goal, he was not impressive at all. I thought he had a decent first half, but second half was not good at all. And I'm not going to say I blame Scaloni for that, but I blame Scaloni for kind of continuing with Otamendi. And it's not as if Scaloni doesn't have any options, right? He does have Lisandro Martinez on the bench. He does have him. And that's one thing for me that I'm not sure why he's not being used, because he used him versus Chile in the second half in the World Cup qualifiers about a week and a half ago now. And Martinez did very well. Lisandro played very, very well in that second half. And I don't understand why he wasn't used. And, I blame Scaloni for not trying Lisandro beforehand. I blame Scaloni for really continuing with Otamendi. And, Argentina play Uruguay on Friday. So that's going to be a whole other thing. We'll see if he continues using Otamendi or not. The second thing, the substitutions. And I'm talking specifically yesterday. All right. Not to be confused with, when I said positive is he's not afraid, right? Because he's not afraid to try something out. He's not afraid to try something new. Credit to him. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yesterday, it did not work at all. One in particular was Angel Di Maria. We've obviously spoken about Di Maria several times on this channel, on Twitter, on Mundo, Albiceleste.com, on the Facebook page, pretty much everywhere. I think a lot of people know where I stand on Di Maria. But yesterday, I thought Di Maria was not good, to say the least. The numbers were there to back it up, and we're going to get to the numbers and everything when we talk on our live chat later tonight. But his substitutions, I thought, by Scaloni, taking out Paredes and taking out Lo Celso, for me, were not the best decisions, especially when you're considering that Rodrigo de Paul was probably the least impressive of the three midfielders yesterday, but he insisted on keeping de Paul there and taking out the other two. So I do blame Scaloni for that, because in the end, when Di Maria came in, most of Argentina's attack was really through that side, through the right side, through Di Maria's side, and never really led to too much. So I do blame him for that. And the third and final, let's say, bad thing is the lack of motivation or the lack of focus, specifically at the start of the second half. This is the third match in a row now where Argentina have scored first, and it's the third match in a row where at the start of the second half, the team is not focused or not motivated or disorganized. And, ultimately, to a certain degree, yes, the players are at fault, absolutely, and they have to take responsibility. But at halftime, you have that halftime talk, and as the coach, you have to say something. Either you tell them, okay, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, or we're going to completely change it, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. But they're not focused. The players are not focused, and it's cost us. It cost the team dearly versus Colombia, and it cost the team once more versus Chile in the Copa America. So those are my three takeaways, three things that I think Scaloni could improve upon. Obviously, Otamendi is the first one, probably the most obvious. The second one were his substitutions yesterday. And the third one, the lack of motivation or the lack of focus from the team at the start of the second half. And I do blame Scaloni for that. I really, really do. Not to be harsh on him, really not. For those that follow us and watch us, I've always kind of been pretty lenient and very forgiving when it comes to Scaloni. I try not to blame him too much. But at the end of the day, the coach must take some responsibilities. He said, for example, yesterday following the 1-1 draw, he said, well, we should have won. We deserve to win, but we drew. And he's right. Maybe Argentina deserved to win. They should have won because they created a lot of chances. But lack of focus and, in my opinion, poor substitutions led to Argentina not winning. In addition to, obviously, the poor finishing. But in my opinion, a lot of that goes down to Scaloni. That's my opinion. I want to hear your opinions. What do you guys think of Scaloni, particularly in yesterday's match? Obviously, he's been the coach now for nearly 3 years, for about 2.5 years. How much improvement has he done? How much has he improved? We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that later tonight in our live post-match discussion. We're going to be taking your comments. We're going to be taking your questions. But definitely leave a comment below on this video. I'd love to know what everyone here thinks. What do you guys think of Lionel Scaloni yesterday? What did he do well? What did you guys like? And maybe what did you guys not like in regards to Scaloni? If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button to support us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to never, ever miss a thing regarding the Argentina national team. It's the Copa America. We have a lot of stuff coming, so make sure to click that subscribe button. Once more, my name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo, Albiceleste.com, and thank you for watching.